Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Springfield Hellcat. Let's get right into the first 30-second breakdown. This is where in the first 30 seconds, give or take, I give you guys my exact thoughts on this product before getting into the full review. So basically, you guys can either continue watching, see why I say those things, or you guys can just stop watching because now you know my exact thoughts on the product. So let's get right into why this is such a popular gun and why people are talking about it. And that is because it holds 13 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. 14 rounds in such a small gun is huge, especially because it's one of basically 2 guns on the market that are this size that are doing that. So it's going to be kind of a standard, I think, that people are going to start going towards. But that is why people are talking about it so much. Also, sights are really good on this gun coming from stock. The grip is comfortable. It presents very well. And I found myself to be really accurate with this at 40 yards coming in. So with that, I'm really happy with this gun, and I'm very surprised with how good this gun was from what I really thought it was going to be. I heard a lot of political things along with Springfield Armory, a lot of bad, a lot of good, a lot of negative, a lot of positive, and I did my own research, and it was hard to find exactly what was true. So what we're going to do is we're just going to review the gun itself. We're not going to talk about Springfield because I am not able to basically confirm or deny those allegations of them giving money to anti-gun legislation and whatnot. So if they do that and it comes out as confirmed that they did that, then I do not think this company deserves a penny. But so far, I've not been able to find anything that actually confirms that or denies it. So I am just going to go ahead and review the gun itself. So first off, my relationship with Springfield, they did send this to me. So I was very hesitant at first to even want to get this, mainly because first, I'm not really a big fan of Springfield's handguns. I don't think the XDs are a very good gun. So I was seeing this and I was like, you know what? It's probably just gonna be a really tiny XD and I don't want anything to do with it. The more and more I saw on Instagram and social media and talking to some of the guys there, they found that they really liked this and thought it was a really decent gun. So it kind of piqued my interest. I talked to Springfield a little bit, and after talking with them, they were very interested in just honest reviews, honestly telling them what they think of the gun. So after that, I decided, you know what, I do want to check this out, see what everybody's talking about, and I want to give them my honest opinion. Maybe give them some things that they can upgrade in the next one that they do, or just tell them that they did a good job. So let's take a look at this gun and what makes it so good. So the first thing that I noticed when I picked this gun up was the grip texture. It's got a sort of stippling to it that you would call stippling, but it's very, very light. And that's what I like. Aggressive stippling is annoying to me because after shooting for long periods of time, it really starts hurting your hands. This is a very light stippling. I'll show you guys a close-up of it. But it's very, very subtle, but at the same time, when you hold on to it, it does a really good job of actually gripping onto your hand and you being able to stick to the grip a little bit. So it is very comfortable to grip. The gun itself, I don't know, it presents well. When you pick it up, you put it up and you go to put it up to target, it just presents well. That's gonna be something that's gonna be a preference, personal preference, and when you actually pick it up, you'll understand. Another thing that I noticed was the sights. Holy cow. Stock sights is something that usually everybody just replaces, goes with Trojacons or something else or their personal preference. With these stock sights, I absolutely love them. Again, I'll show you guys a close-up of these, but they got a U-notch on the back and then a tritium in the front. I have found that these are really, really nice sights. They're mainly for concealed carry and close range, but I was able to shoot at that 40-yard mark and still be able to hit consistently and accurately. So the sights are really good for stock. I would never replace those if I did go ahead and purchase one of these myself. You got front serrations on the front and serrations on the back. Front serrations are just nice for doing press check or manipulating your gun from the front. I think it's kind of one of those things where why wouldn't you put them there? It's not in the way. It's not getting in the way. If you don't want to use them, you never have to touch them, but why not have them there for the people that do use them? Do I use them that often? Do I do press checks? Not really, but I have found myself using front serrations every once in a while, depending on the situation or what I'm doing. I have used them before, so it's nice to have them. Might as well put them on there. Your guide rod kind of protrudes a little bit here, as you can tell. That's meant to be a standoff device, so if you put this against an object and it doesn't get your slide out of battery so you can't fire. So it's supposed to be like a standoff device. If you're gonna push this into a person, a larger person, I don't see that little knob actually preventing this from going out of battery. But if you put it against a hard surface, a slide. If you put it against this magazine or a hard surface, it's not going to go out of battery. I did that the most awkward way possible. It's not gonna go out of battery. I'm pushing against it. So if you're gonna be putting this against a hard surface, a car door, say you're in a vehicle and you're going against your car door, or you're putting against the vehicle, or you're putting against something hard, that will be a standoff device. But if you're putting it against a person, I don't see that actually working. But again, it's not hurting anybody, so why not put it on there in the possible chance that it does save somebody's life. So that is a standoff device. You have a flat face trigger here. It actually looks curved, but that's mainly because you have this safety here in the trigger. So once that's down, you can tell that it is flat faced. It is comfortable on my finger. For stock triggers, it's decent. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing I wouldn't replace, but it's not so bad that I'm like, oof, like a car CM9. Like I'm like, wow, that is terrible. I need to replace that. Not something that I'd have to replace right away, but not something that I wouldn't replace. Because another nice thing that I noticed, they have a 1913 pick rail down here. So a lot of your sub guns, Glock 43s, things like that, you have to have flashlights that clip down here on the bottom. So with a pick rail down here, you have a lot more options on what you want to put on this gun. So that's kind of nice. It's not gonna be very big, so you can't put like a massive light on it, obviously, for full size, but it's nice that they have that pick rail on the bottom so you can put a little bit more options on there for light wise. Now this does come on a red dot compatible, so it is cut for red dots. I'm not really sure of all the red dots. I know a lot of them, like the shield sights you can put on them. I've never seen anyone put like RMRs or anything yet on them. I don't know if they're cut for that from the factory, but you can get the one that is meant for red dot. I did not, because I don't have a shield sight and I was not looking into purchasing one, so they just sent me the one without. But you do have the option to run a red dot on this as well, which is nice that companies are now finally starting to listen to people, see what people are doing. They notice that people are upgrading sights the second they get guns, so they put nice sights on it. They're noticing they're sending their slides off to get milled the second they get them and getting them Cerakote, so they just made it an option to have a red dot on there. So it's nice to see these companies are actually listening, front serrations, things like that, slight stippling. So they're not just kind of sticking with what they've always done. They're trying to mold their guns compared to what people are actually doing in the market right now. So now let's get into the mag capacity, and that's what really everybody's been talking about with this. 13+1, that is with the longer extension, and then you've got the more concealable one, which is 11+1, but I don't run that one. I run this one personally because it's still very concealable, even on my small body, and it's a lot more comfortable in my hand. So SIG is about the only other company that I've noticed that's really doing this subcompact thing with a lot more capacity, which I think a lot of people are going to start to follow suit with this. But theirs is the SIG P365 and XL, which is I think about a 12+1. So it's about that same capacity. So that's kind of what you're comparing this to. And a lot of people want to compare this to the Glock 43, which I don't think there is a comparison, because the Glock 43 is like 8 rounds and this is 13. That's a pretty big difference. Kind of hard to compare. The only thing I can really compare between the two is they're both subcompacts and they both kind of have the same size. Other than that, this kind of blows it out of the water when it comes to capacity. When it comes to reliability, that's the biggest thing that I think everybody's worried about. The Glock has just been so trusted for so long, and that's why my wife carries a Glock. That's why I carry a Glock, is because I know they're trusted. I know they're reliable. Springfield, I don't think quite has that record of being reliable. I don't think they have that, stature of being so reliable, and that's where I think everybody's being really cautious with this gun. So I've shot over 500 rounds, and that's why I'm concealed carrying this now. And that's not a ton, but that is 500 of flawless rounds with multiple different types of ammo. I've shot reloads through it. I've shot steel case, brass, new, reman, different stuff through this, trying to see if it doesn't like anything. And it basically has shot everything flawlessly, no jams, no malfunctions, no issues. Now, where I'm going to keep an eye on is past this 500. Is it going to continue to have issues? Is it going to continue to eat those rounds no issue? And that's what I think everybody's waiting for. And I don't see it having an issue after that. That's why I'm doing this review so early, because I want to let you guys know what I think about it. But I will be doing a more in-depth review later on when I get more rounds count through it and let you guys know, or I'll just be updating you guys on social media, let you know, hey, it is still flawless up to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, see how flawless the gun can be. But I do trust to carry this gun right now because, like I said, I made the 500 round mark and it has been flawless, so I do carry this with me at times. I still carry my Glock 19 and 26 long, usually more, but depending, like church, I carry this a lot just because depending on my clothing, or if I'm wearing something not quite as bulky, I usually carry this. So is this something I would recommend and spend my own money on? So this is tough. Now, when you're going into a market that's already have some kings like Glock and SIG that are really destroying the market and everybody trusts and loves, you have to do something different that those other companies aren't doing. You have to do something that stands out to make yourself a competitor. So what they did is they did the high round count, which is definitely a big one, but unfortunately SIG was doing that with their P365, and then they came out with some really nice sights for the stock sights. So I think those two things are really, really nice, and I think they did a really good job with them. But unfortunately, when you're looking at trusted versus new and it looks nice and it does well, most people are going to take that trusted and reliability. So I think that the longer that this goes onto the market and the more that it gets a higher round count and more people test it and find that it is reliable, I think that this will be a competitor. I personally do think that this is going to be a flawless and reliable gun. I don't think it's going to have any issues, but since it hasn't been tested the test of time yet, I think that's where kind of people are a little bit iffy about it. So since having this, a lot of local people have been wanting to play around with it, shoot it, and test it out themselves. I've got a couple people actually looking to purchase some themselves actually after playing around with it because they really liked it and how comfortable it was. But I think people are just going to be kind of cautious with it just because it's a new gun. But for a Gen 1, the first start of this, I think they did a really good job with what they had. They have a really good base, and I hope that they build off of this after the criticism, after some of the pros, the cons people give them. I hope they build the next gen even better. I hope they keep the sights because the sights are great. I think a lot of the features are really good, but I hope they upgrade some things. I hope they make the trigger better. I hope they make even more capacity if they can, would be awesome. So I hope that they hear what people are saying and they continue to build off this because I think they have a really, really good start. But it's just so hard to beat, one, fanboys, and two, the trusted platform. So if this does become in 2020 a very trusted platform and people put high round counts and say, holy crap, zero problems, ran flawlessly, no malfunctions, I think that people are really going to look at this and decide to make this one of their primaries. The only problem is going to be your price. You're looking at about a $500 mark for these. I think that's a little bit high, so I'd like to see them bring the price down a little bit on these, and maybe as time goes on and the reliability goes up and people recognize this as a really reliable platform, then they could bring that price up. If this continues to do what it's doing, running flawlessly, and people really start to notice it, I think this is going to be a really good competitor. Hey guys, I'm here with Mike at SHOT Show, and we're at the range day. He's going to go over the Hellcat for us.
All right, so what we have here is what I think is the most exciting compact carry pistol in the world. And the reasons that is I mean, this gun is very distinctive, very unique. It's a 9mm micro-sized CCW pistol. It's an 11+1 gun, has a 3-inch barrel, weighs around, I believe, 18 ounces. There are two different models. There's the standard model, which we're looking at right here, and there's also an OSP model, which has the ability to accept micro red dot sights like the Shield RMSC and things like that. So the key to understanding the importance of this gun is what you're getting a 9mm gun that holds 11+1 in a package this size. This is clearly a pocket-sized gun. It also comes with one flush 11 rounder, and it comes with one extended 13 rounder. And it's funny because I've always told people I primarily carry a full-size gun. Little guns generally don't interest me. This gun is so amazing, it's making it harder and harder for me to justify carrying a full-size gun. This one has the near capacity of a full-size gun. It shoots amazingly well, and speaking of that, it has what we call the U-dot sights, which includes a tritium large dot front sight. It has this U-shaped rear sight. You basically just drop the green circle in the U, and it's ready to shoot. I found the gun to be very accurate, very reliable. It's just a great gun. And I believe that we sent one out to you for testing, didn't we?
Yes, absolutely. One of the first things I noticed with it was the sights. That was the thing that I liked the most because with like the blocks and whatnot, the first thing you do is replace the sights, and then you're like, I don't want those. You put $100 into sights right away. And that's the thing I noticed that you guys did so well was the sights were great, the grip texture and everything was really good, and then obviously the mag capacity was the other thing that I thought was fantastic. Now the one thing that I noticed that I was thinking of was you've got the companies like Glock and SIG that are so well known in that market. They've got the 43 and the P365. And I noticed that they tried to do something a little bit different. Now, what did you guys do in your minds that was different to basically go above them and have people buy your product over theirs?
I think that what sets this product apart is there's some very tangible things. Like, for example, it literally holds one more round than its direct competitors. Mm-hmm. This is an 11 rounder in the size of a gun that's most of the others in direct competitors are 10 rounders. So we have that advantage. In addition to that, compact guns, everybody makes excuses or caveats or, oh, well, it's a small gun, it can't stand up to a lot of shooting, they're harder to shoot, they might not be as reliable. I've seen it in your testing. We found it in our testing. The thing is insanely reliable. It just shoots and shoots and shoots. We actually had a writer, Clay Martin, do a 10,000 round torture test on this gun in a day and a half. He put 10,000 rounds through one of these guns. The gun was ready to go right into a holster or pocket, and he was done. No parts breakage, shoot through 10,000 rounds, ready to go.
Flawless, so, no issues?
No issues. So I would say that basically our mindset on it is not only is it an exceptional design as a concealed carry gun, it basically breaks all the rules of concealed carry guns. It has durability. It has all the features. I think it shoots like a full-size gun. I shoot really well with this gun. I think it's just a winner across the board.
Awesome. And I actually filmed the review video before we came here, so my thoughts before what we already seen was Steve coming here talking with him. And that was the thing I noticed. It was the first mag review I did. And I went out 40 yards. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this long range, see what I can do. And I think I hit 3 for 3 at 40 yards, and I was amazed because anything subcompact, I think everyone is the same. We all have issues with that, and that's what kind of keeps. I carry a Glock 19 on me, and it's a full size with a Surefire X300, a massive gun. It's kind of uncomfortable to carry, but I can shoot with it. I'm comfortable with that gun, and I found with this early on, and I'm up to 500 rounds now, but I'm comfortable with it. I can hit what I'm aiming at with the subcompact. I don't have to be like, okay, I don't want to go for that 40-yard shot because I don't think I can hit it. I'm very confident with that, and that's what's something I found that was really nice about this gun.
Well, we're glad to hear that. It's funny, you made a comment earlier, and it made me remember something that I thought when I first checked. Comment about the sights. I tend to, when I get a carry gun, I'll tweak it. I'll switch the sights out because sights usually from the factory are not very good. I'll usually get some customization done on the grip. Springfield did everything on this. The sights are exceptional. The ATG Advanced Texture Grip. I talked to some gunsmiths. I've shown them the gun. They said, there's nothing really we would do to this gun. It's pretty much has all the features that we would do in a custom shop on it.
Yeah.
And you're getting this for an MSRP of, I believe, $569 for the standard gun and $599 for the OSP, the optics ready gun. So it's obviously a great deal.
Yeah. Now, that was something I did mention as well, is the fact that you guys obviously started listening to people because people stipple their guns, people get slide work done, and sights. And you guys obviously covered those things, so when you buy this, you don't have to do those things, which is nice. And obviously, grip textures and things, that's going to be all personal preference because what I like isn't going to be what the next person likes. But I found that the grip texture you guys did was very subtle, very easy to grip, but it wasn't uncomfortable, which a lot of stippling is. It's uncomfortable after a long period of time. So that was something I found that you guys did really well with, and I did mention in the review. So really happy with that. Now with the trigger, are you guys looking at doing anything upgraded with the trigger eventually? Are you guys looking at a Gen 2 moving forward, or is that still too early since it just came out?
You know, we're only 3 months, 4 months out from its release, and the demand is so high. You know, they're selling them as fast as they can make them. I would say, you know, you're going to see modifications, you're going to see upgrades, you're going to see probably, you know, different model variations. It's going to take a little time though. Keep an eye out. You know,
good, because I like what you guys. I think you have a great starting point. It's hard to go past the Glock and Sig because of the fact that they're just so solidified, but I think you guys have an amazing starting point, and I'd like to see what you guys do from there, listening to what people say, you know, hey, this is something I'd like to see upgrade and stuff like that. So I think you guys have an awesome starting point. I think it's a great gun, and so far I've been flawless through 500 rounds, and I'm excited to keep shooting it and see what else it does.
We'll tell you what, keep burning through it. We're pretty confident it's going to work.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
So if this is something you guys are interested in, go ahead and check out Springfield. They have a lot of other guns there. They have different handguns, different rifles, so you guys can pick one yourself. And if you guys want to help support my channel and the things that I do here, I just started a Patreon account. If you go down in the description, you can go become a Patreon. You get different things by becoming patron and doing things there. If you guys want to check that out, do that. It really helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. If not a big deal, guys. I just really appreciate you guys being here, liking, sharing, subscribing. Also, there's a link to my website if you guys want to use any of those links to purchase anything. That also gives me a small kickback. Just another way that you guys can help support the channel. So I'm trying to get more ways. I've been getting a lot of people asking me how to support the channel, different ways to do it. So I wanted to give you guys multiple different ways with the Patreon, website links, different things like that. So if you guys want to do that, it helps out a lot. If not a big deal. I just appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much.